too fast. Yeah. You guys want to come on?
All right.
Or you should present from the back or ahead. You're on the camera now. A worldwide audience of 23 people is looking at you right now.
Chris, there's a question to you from chat.
All right, what's the question?
Will there be any 3D support in MMF2?
Will there be any what?
3D support.
I answered to these questions in.
I will answer to this question in the question and answer session.
So stay tuned.
Okay.
All right.
So tell your friend that he's going to have to stay tuned for the rest of the event to get his answer. See how that works?
Yeah, I let know them already.
What's that?
I let them know already.
Okay, good job. Simon, would it help if I come to the Jeopardy? When I used to do customer service, if a customer couldn't tell me what they wanted after a short period of time, I would go, I'm like, I'm sorry, you're out of time. Maybe that's why I don't do customer service. It looks like he's going to advanced settings. This is serious. So we're going to get to the advanced settings. You didn't know my shtick was going to be your cost, did you? It's an optimal resolution notification. Who played Produce's game during lunch? Anyone? We got one player. So I guess by default you're the high and low scorer on the game. Who's our high scorer right now?
I'm going to finish score before we do the thing anyway.
Yeah, that's good. Hold on a second. I know you're dying now. Bartik, is that you? You're the winner. That's hard. So he's got 3,074 points. I challenge you to beat that. Are you ready? Here you go.
Hey everyone, Danny Burfelt. Basically what it was is, going back about 2 years ago, I downloaded an example of the Jeff made, and it was a 3-line slot machine, made click and play. Oh, sorry. And I've always been interested in slot machines. Going back about 10 years ago, I used to do some testing for a local UK firm that shipped slot machines up and down the country, and we pulled with boys and stuff like that. Basically what we had to do was test the hell out of these machines and iron all the bugs out. Because obviously real money was involved, so there's real money involved. You don't want people going to these machines and taking whatever they can. So I've always had a keen interest in slot machines, and then about 3 or 4 years ago I visited the casino of Blackpool, and they had these American style machines in, and they're nothing like the slot machines they have in the pubs, you know, they've got like crazy lines going everywhere. I was like, I really need to figure out how these work. So I got to Multimedia Fusion 2 when I had a bit of spare time, which is very rare, and I came up with a small prototype on how I would do this, and I knew from the off that I wanted to do this multi-platform, so I tried to do it completely extensionless, which I did manage to achieve ultimately, so I'll just going to fire it. I'm very blessed when it comes to organisation of MFA finals and stuff. So this basically was the initial prototype that I did, just placed all the graphics and stuff. I just wanted to see if I could create the engine that works from start to finish. And the way that you achieve that in Multimedia Fusion 2 when you're using basic conditions and actions and events is to let each tick do its job from the top to bottom, so it reads the event in a linear fashion. It comes from top executes as teams and groups. So the slot machine knows where it's up to every step of the way. So if I just hit F8, I'll quickly show you how this works. So basically, obviously I only started with one line to begin with, and then you would choose your stake, and then you would take the stake.
Big money, big money, big money. No way, it's big money.
And what I had to do was, originally I didn't use any fast loops or anything because I was scared about using fast loops on Android, and 4each at the time wasn't ported over. This was during Android beta testing. So I kind of tried using multimedia fusions or Tickrate to go through each one of the objects, and that failed miserably. So the second time round I thought, well, I'm going to give it a try with fast loops, and not forgetting this was at the stage when the Android export wasn't even released, so James was doing a lot of work to optimise it. And lo and behold, eventually it did work. So the way I did it was, the engine runs from top to bottom at the start of the frame. We do all the initial setup, we're going to be spread values. Each individual icon represents a real number. Some people kept saying to me, why don't we just do an animation that's preset, so you can just play an active that looks like it's spinning around. And I said, well, the problem we've got there is, how do you detect if you've got 3 in a row, if you've got 4 in a row, 5 in a row. And I also wanted the engine to be dynamic. Dynamic in the sense that, as you can see, I've got 5 reels set up here. I might want to create a 3-reel slot machine, so I just want to be able to strip 2 of the reels out and keep the lines in. So I wanted everything to be dynamic. And eventually, I managed to achieve it by seeing the fast loops, which I've got already runs at 59, 60 frames a second on Android, even on some little crappy device that I've got from China. It runs at 58, 59 frames a second on that. And then, obviously, the engine was complete. So I thought, it's time to start skinning things up, make it look presentable. Just right here. And this was the first real slot machine that I produced off this engine. And basically, the way the engine works is, just load this film, wouldn't be able to see those. It's all in layers. And basically, I don't know how many of you guys out there know how slot machines work, the American type ones, but you need 3 in a row, minimum from left to right. You can get straight lines, diagonal lines, crazy lines, just lines everywhere. The aim again is to set a stake, spin the reels, and get 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now, I wanted a bit of a challenge, so I thought, well, the gameplay was a bit boring. I wanted it to match commercial quality slot machines, so I had to come out with a wild feature, and that kind of threw a spanner in the works at first, because your wild features, or your wild icon, could appear on reels 2, 3, and 4. So if you've got, say,
laser point of view.
What?
Fantastic laser point.
Even better. Okay. So if you've got, say, a skull on this line here, and you don't necessarily have to get a skull on this line to get 3 in a row, you can have a wild icon, and that wild icon can then, I'll show you the I'll just hit that value. We went to the brand name, big names. And this is when I met Burfelt.
Yes.
And me and Burfelt had a chat. I showed Burfelt what I was doing. I was looking for a guy that could do SQL PHP stuff, because I wanted to use the get object to create a system that was unique. What I'm going to do first of all is just going to show you how the slot machine works. So you can choose your stake here, as you normally would. You can increase that. And you can also change the amount of lines that you play on as well. Just crank this down a bit, just move it around. So you give the wheels a spin. We were doing it first. Now as you can see, that wild icon is doing its job there, because you don't necessarily have to a specific icon on the wire to represent any of the icons. So again, we have to read left to right how we're going to do that. Just give you a more spin, see if we can just show you a couple of icons that we're on there. So you can see there's no window, so it's a little key right here. We've got a free spin icon here and a free spin icon here. What you need to do to get free spins is you need three. One in this wheel, one in this wheel, one in this wheel. And then you've also got a bonus icon, which takes us to a bonus game, which is and you need 3 items to get to the bonus game. So I was thinking, how am I going to do this when I'm fast looping through at the end to find out where the winners are? How am I going to block out the bonus icons? So what I did was I used an index of 0 to 9 on the animations. I'll just open up these so you can see. Each real icon is just a strip animation like that. What happens is when you spin the reels, it makes it frame at this point, this is the top layer, so it makes the reel look like it's just been round. Actually, all it's doing is landing here and then flying back up here and it's coming down. And what I did was I thought maybe I should use an array to calculate what wins. And I thought, well, I'm going to try and use multimedia fusion to its max without any extensions. So what I ended up doing was, after a lot of sleep and thinking, let me just see, so we go to the game, and we're going to see here, these 3 groups we're going to look at. We've got sign, real wins, do the win, and then show the winning icons. So if we just look at here, you can see I've used qualifiers, which was a bit risky at first, but it was the only way I could do it. And the qualifier basically checks how many lines are being played. And then I have to kind of do it in a weird way, just look at properties on one of these lines. So we've got reel 1, reel 2, reel 3, reel 4, reel 5, line win, 1 win, line active. Basically, each 5 here needed to correspond to each one of these. So what I then did was created the reels as actives in the background. Reel 1. So I used basically overlaps, that's all I did. I just overlaps these icons with this, and I told the line which reel it was, so which position and which animation was playing, and then I would just perform a fast loop over the top at the end to check that it was find where the actual maths was. But here you can see on this event, on loop assign, we spend value at the beginning of the frame, so each reel icon has got its unique ID. It's overlapping one of the lines, and then some value here is it means something. This is why it should label your values. But it makes sure that if you're only playing 5 lines, it doesn't want to be calculated at the 10th line because it's not in place, so it only loops around the amount of lines and the amount of icons. So I was speaking to Burfelt and I was saying, you know, we need to do something with this. What can we do? You know, because this could be pretty big. And that's when me and Burfelt spoke. I'd already set up a basic system of where you can save your coin count online and resume at any point. So I went on Android and iOS and I downloaded about 50, 60 of the top slot machine games that have been created by companies like Singer, you know, really big stuff. And if you download any of those slot machines, you can purchase coins, so you spend about 50 and you get 10,000 coins, but when you download it, it downloads it to that device. So if you then fire up the same slot machine on your iPad, you can't transfer the coins from there to your iPad because everything's stored locally. And there wasn't a single company that could provide what I had in mind to do, which was you create a username on our website, you can download this slot machine, you can download any of our slot machines, and you can take your coin count with you wherever you want to. It was a bit of a challenge. It didn't take us long. I'm going to let Burfelt talk in a minute. He's going to guide you through how we use the get object to achieve all this. It currently works for standard PC runtime, Flash, Android, and iOS. And I'm going to probably do some HTML5 testing real soon. But yeah, that's kind of like the project in a nutshell. We're still quite a way off. We're not a way off finishing it. The product's already ready, but there's a lot of security issues that we want to look at. Because even though people can't get any money out of it, we want to be able to get companies, local, national, regionals, to sponsor some of the games that we do, so that we can offer like free entries to competitions and stuff like that in return for our users. And again, nobody is doing this. I've got documents at home, you know, there's the Bible about research that I've done on all this. So it's a confident project. We both have confidence in it. And again, I'll just show you one more thing before I pass you to Burfelt. I'll just show you this game running again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fire one more of those ones so you can see the comparison. I have this thing in my head where I keep trying to tell people that they need to build game engines rather than you know, frame by frame games, because if it's going to be a commercial quality game at least, because my ex-wife to do these voiceovers on the show. If you look at Power Chatbots, and then you look Monster Reels, you can see it's not really much different, it's only graphically, and that's because it's running off the same engine. That means if I do any updates to the core engine, I don't have to go through every single game and make them same updates, and that's another thing that Burfelt will talk about in the API that we created. So it's pretty much the same as pretty much the same principle again. It works in Android, Flash, iOS, PC, all things, and everything is stored online, everything is logged online, every spin that every user makes, everything is stored, so we can tell how many users have played concurrently, how many users have played in the past, what their stage was. And the reason why we did that is because we did that with Airstream, is because I started to get emails coming through saying, oh, I went to the bonus game and I won 10,000 coins, but it didn't put it into my account. And I was like, I can't prove that, they can't prove that, so what do I do? So I built a login system which logs in real time to our server, everything that everybody's doing. And I said to Burfelt, we're going to release these, but we're not going to tell anybody about it because we wanted a handful of real-time users who didn't know what we was doing to test it, and within 3 weeks we had 5,000 downloads, and that's not really what we wanted. So it's already been a success in our version we wanted to be. So I'm going to pass it to Burfelt now, who's probably going to explain how the Get Object works.
Hopefully, yeah. If people can make sense of it. Hello, I'm Burfelt from the Clickteam forum, and well, basically, I love the Get Object. Some people who know me knows that I've been going on about the Get Object for years. It was actually like an extension that James created 6 years ago, I think, 5, 6 years ago. It's very simple, but I love it. And Danny needed some way to communicate from the game to a server to store users' login information, how many times they played, and so on and so forth, so they can have their coins, and as Danny said, take them to different slot machines, different Android applications. And so basically what I did, I took the Get Object and built sort of an API on it. And I'll just explain that in a moment. Like, can we get my presentation? Because I want to explain some basic stuff about the Get Object. Just sing its praises, really, because I really love that object. It's very simple. And if you haven't used it yet for anything, I think you should. So just, yeah, on that one. So just, yeah, the Get Object. The Get Object is, looks like this, the icon. It's very simple. Like I said, James created it, and there's really nothing to it. I've made a few events here, like, well, one event, moving start frame, get URL. So what I'm doing is just asking Get Object to pull whatever this, whatever code this URL returns. And I can also as you can see, add post data to it. So I can like post some variables to this URL. And so if you, for example, post to, let's say, Google, you will get the Google HTML back. And that's all fine. A lot of people have used this for just this very basic thing for someone built took out an application and used a get object, I think, to, I don't know for what reason, but you could actually display the entire Clickteam forum in a neatly set up MMF application and navigate through it. You're just like requesting the data from the forums and parsing that into the app. But what becomes really interesting is the fact that you can have, if you have like a web server, you can have a database. So you can save those variables into a database and of course call them back again into the app. So it goes from the Multimedia Fusion app onto a PHP website with data and back into the all into the database, which can be like MySQL, MS SQL, and the page just has to be a dynamic website like PHP or ASP or whatever, and you get a response back that you can program yourself. And that's what the get object gets. It gets a response, and you can use it for anything within the app. And what we used it for was login, handling money, how many games you played. Basically, what Danny brought me in for was building an API, a set of rules that Danny could post to the server. I would return data that he could display in the app. And we just, once we settled on something in easy format, like you have to submit password and username, and you can get this particular user's details back, we could display it like we wanted to in the app and create a multiple number of apps, as long as it just respected the format of the API. And that was all there was to it, really. It didn't take that long. We had something up and running in like a week or something.
Yeah.
I think. If you want to get started with Git, which I hope everyone will want to, Jeff Vance did a nice tutorial, not really a tutorial, more of an example where you get like a zip file with a MFA using the get object to communicate with a PHP file on a server to build a small high score list, submitting a user's high score and getting the data back, and it's stored in the database. It's pretty simple, and this will work on all the runtimes because Get is ported to, correct me if I'm wrong, like iOS, Android, HTML5. Probably, I don't know, it's not out yet.
Sorry?
HTML5. Get
it works on everything but IE, but
all right. Okay, so
work on
don't use IE. I think I have some examples to show with the Get. Perhaps we should show that we can. We have like statistics using the get object.
Do you want to show the game first and then we'll
look
at the statistics?
Okay, so what I did here was, again, the server is initiating a game and the bets are saved online and everything is calculated. If they hit the correct bet, then they get money paid on the server and it's sent back to the game. Let's see, okay, so August, they both lost that. The get object. Burfelt.com. How do you make up slash in a second? Alright. So this game, it's like Sing My Battleship, I basically started building this using only the get object. And had like a game log ready in, like how far were people in the game, where did they place their battleships, where did they shoot the battleship. But then I changed it to run with Laceway, which is much better. But there's still some aspects that are cool to use get object for, and that was, I was thinking, couldn't it be fun to like have a replay of the game, and basically just use the get object to log every time someone shot at a ship or got hit by a bomb from the other player. And so every time that happens, I'm saving that into a database table using the get object communicating with PHP.
and then the database, and I'm saving everything that happened, every event that happened in the game, every action, like as a log file. And then you can go back and say, let's replay Mr. Susan's game here. Hopefully. There we go. And this is just communicating with a PHP file that is basically spitting out the complete log of how this game was played. And you can see the two players, their play areas. One is already sunk ship, and there's another ship being sunk. And I don't know who's winning. Hopefully you can see I participated in this game. Let's just speed it up a bit. Alright, so all this was done with the get object. Yay! And really simple, I just send all the action. I save them on. You have to know a bit of web development and MySQL database. That's the tricky part. But you can start out by just pulling data from Google or weather data if you want to do a weather app widget and load that into MMF. You can really do anything. Yeah, really. I love the get object. Do we have more to show, really?
So basically that's what me and Burfelt have been working on in the background for the last 6 months. But we've not been doing it solid for 6 months because we Burfelt we kind of like we both independently create software applications and games for private clients online. So we kind of have to work around our existing work to get this done. But as you can see, the infrastructure that we've created is solid, it's robust, it's commercial quality. Hopefully we're going to go somewhere pretty far with it, we've got confidence in. And again, it just shows you how powerful multi-diffusion 2 really can be if you take the time out to learn what needs to be done, what it does, and then combine them all together to create something commercial quality. If anybody's got any questions about the project? No? Yeah?
Do you have a release date?
No. No. We learn from Clickteam. We don't release release dates.
After MMF 3.
Fusion 3.
Fusion.
Yes, Kevin.
Can you use the get object to do that stuff on Facebook, or is that kind of beyond it?
Sorry?
Can you use the get object to use to do posting and reading from Facebook?
You could, but you would have to interact with Facebook's API. Like you can post your variables to a PHP site, and then Facebook has a PHP API to again post those variables to Facebook. So you'd have to like have a middleman that handles the transaction between Facebook and PHP. But you could, yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
I think you should repeat the question for the people watching.
So that's a good point. The question was, can you post data directly to Facebook? And yes, you could do that, but you have to use the Facebook API. Any more questions?
I had a question for Danny about comments in your code. No comments? Ever? No. That's it.
If I don't know the else is going to see it, then I'm very rarely commenting. But if you notice in the functions, I have everything green. So that's all the time over to. This is why I won't take 2 or 3 days away from a project, because if I come back to that project, so
nice.
I just hang out and click on version 1 everybody.
Thank
Thank you very much.